Half a century ago, a committee of American scientists put something extraordinary on paper. A single plant, one organism, that could replace an entire trip to the grocery store. More protein than soy. A built-in fertilizer system that costs you nothing. Seeds that renew themselves season after season without a single purchase. Scientists called it a living supermarket. Then the money ran out, the programs were shut down, and the world moved on. What follows is the story of the plant they stopped telling you about. By the end of this video, you will know what 5 separate foods this plant produces, how it actively rebuilds your soil while it grows, and why a crop with a scientific endorsement at the highest level simply vanished from every research program on Earth. You will also get a practical growing guide, what climate zone you need, where to source seeds today, and a clear timeline from planting to harvest. No dependency on expensive inputs, no annual resupply chain, no gatekeeping between you and your food. 1975. A select committee of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences has just finished reviewing dozens of neglected tropical crops. Their published report singles out one above all others. Its title, The Winged Bean, a high-protein crop for the tropics. Their core finding was striking. No other tropical legume combined such nutritional density across so many edible parts. In their assessment, it surpassed even the soybean, not just in protein, but in versatility. Every component of the plant, from root to flower, could go directly onto a plate. The committee recommended action, dedicated research stations, structured growing trials, and distribution networks to bring the plant to the farmers who needed it most. For a short period, that action materialized. Trials went into the ground in the Philippines. In Papua New Guinea, where this crop had been part of daily life for more than 2,000 years, cultivation expanded. Agricultural bodies across Africa began their own assessments. Then nothing. The budget lines disappeared. The research plots were abandoned. No disease, no scandal, no scientific failure, just a gradual withdrawal of attention, as if a decision had been made somewhere that this particular plant was not worth pursuing. A crop that had briefly captured the attention of the world's top agricultural scientists slipped back into obscurity. Not because it had failed any test, but because it had stopped being funded. In the regions where it had always been grown, however, nothing changed. In the Philippines, it goes by the name Sigarilyas. In Malaysia, Kacang Botol. In Sri Lanka, Dambala. The crop did not need an institution to survive. It kept growing because the people growing it knew its value, and they passed that knowledge on. Let us be concrete about what this plant actually produces. Because it is not one thing, most vegetables and legumes give you access to a single edible part. The winged bean, known botanically as Saphocarpus tetragonalobus, gives you 5 distinct ones. Food 1. The seeds. On a dry weight basis, protein content ranges from 35 to 40%, placing the winged bean level with soy and well above most other legumes. Chicken breast comes in at around 31% by comparison. The seeds can be roasted whole, milled into flour for baking, or pressed to extract an oil whose fatty acid profile compares favorably with soybean oil. Food 2. The leaves. Tender young leaves are mild enough to eat straight from the plant in a salad. As they mature, they hold up well to heat and can be prepared like any leafy green, wilted, stir-fried, or added to soups. Measured by fresh weight, their protein content sits around 5 to 7%, which is well above what you would find in most salad greens. Food 3. The flowers. Blue to violet, occasionally white and fully edible. Used throughout Southeast Asia as a garnish, in salads, and floated in soups. They appear continuously over months, so a single plant gives you a long window of harvest without any effort. Food 4. The pods. The most immediately recognizable part of the plant. 4 raised ridges running the full length of the pod with frilled, wavy edges. There is genuinely nothing else in the legume family that looks quite like it. For the table, pick them when they are young and about 15 centimeters long. At that size, they are crisp, tender, and versatile. Eat them raw, quickly stir-fried, or steamed. A practical note, unlike dried pulses, fresh pods are perishable. Pick them and use them the same day or the next. Anything surplus is worth blanching and putting in the freezer. But if you are harvesting from a plant in your garden, A continuous supply means you will rarely face that problem. Food 5. The tubers. Below the soil, the plant has one more surprise in store. It develops fleshy, tuberous roots, a feature almost entirely unknown outside of Southeast Asian cuisine. Their protein content runs to roughly 20% on a dry weight basis, which is exceptional for a root crop. Cassava, Plagiatsperrhinate for comparison, barely reaches 2%. In texture and flavor, they sit somewhere between a floury potato and a yam, with an earthy, slightly nutty quality. They can be boiled, roasted, or fried. 5 separate foods, 1 plant, 1 bed in your garden. Now the part that changes how you think about soil management. The winged bean is a legume, which means its roots host colonies of rhizobium bacteria living inside small nodules. Those bacteria perform a remarkable service. They draw nitrogen gas, 78% of every breath of air around us, and convert it into a form the plant can absorb and use directly. Unlike most crops, which progressively strip nitrogen from the ground, the winged bean adds it back. Plant it this season, and the bed it occupied will be measurably richer by the time you clear it. Across rural Southeast Asia, farmers have understood this dynamic for generations, rotating the winged bean through their fields deliberately to restore what other crops had taken out, long before Western agronomy developed a name for what was happening. Most gardeners spend a meaningful amount of money on fertilizer each year. This plant replaces that entire line item, while producing the 5 foods described above at the same time. Can you grow this where you live? The answer depends on your climate, but for most gardeners in warm and temperate zones, yes. USDA zones 9 through 11, which covers Florida, South Texas, Southern California, and Hawaii, are ideal. Direct sow into the ground after your last frost date. The plant is tropical in origin. Heat and humidity are assets, not obstacles. Zones 7 and 8. Get seeds started indoors 4 to 6 weeks before your last expected frost, or use a greenhouse to extend the season. The plant needs a long run, around 120 to 150 days if you want tubers, so giving it an early start matters. Zone 6 and colder. It is possible with a heated greenhouse and supplemental lighting, but genuinely difficult. The plant will not tolerate frost, and it needs that long season to reach its potential. Where to source seeds? Baker Creek Rare. Seeds carries them reliably. Search Etsy. Multiple specialist sellers stock them. Asian grocery stores are an underused option. Dried winged beans sold as a cooking ingredient are often viable for planting. Seed swap communities are also worth exploring. Growing notes. This is a vigorous vine. Given support, it will climb to 3 or 4 meters without complaint. A sturdy trellis, fence, or post is essential. Give it full sun, a minimum of 6 hours of direct light per day. Water consistently, but do not waterlog the roots. Resist adding extra fertilizer. The plant supplies its own nitrogen, and overfeeding pushes energy into leaf production at the cost of the pods you are actually growing it for. Expect seeds to germinate within roughly 2 weeks. From there, flowers at around 6 to 8 weeks, your first harvestable pods at 2 to 3 months, and tubers ready to dig at 4 to 5 months. Before you cook any part of this plant for the first time, one note on preparation. Seeds must be cooked before eating. Like any dried bean, raw consumption is not recommended. Soak them first, then cook through fully. Young pods, leaves, flowers, and tubers can all be handled like any other fresh vegetable. Properly prepared, every part is safe and nutritious. So what explains 50 years of institutional silence around a crop this well documented? The answer is not a conspiracy. It is simpler than that. It is arithmetic. The commodity food system runs on repetition. Every growing season, new seed orders from approved suppliers, fertilizer from the same distributors, chemicals to manage the same recurring problems. That cycle is not incidental. It is possible. It is the revenue model. Farmers who depend on it are customers. Farmers who do not are not. The winged bean sits entirely outside that model. A plant with thousands of years of documented cultivation history cannot be patented. It belongs to the public record. A plant that pulls nitrogen from the air has no commercial use for bagged fertilizer. A plant that reliably produces seeds true to the parent generation gives its grower no reason to return to a catalog. Contrast that with a hybrid variety, engineered to produce inconsistent offspring, forcing the grower back to the seed company every spring. Or a patented line that comes with a legal prohibition on saving seed. Those products generate annual revenue. They are worth funding, worth researching, worth promoting. The winged bean generates none of that, which is exactly what makes it worth growing. The 1975 report was not a first discovery. It was a rediscovery. In the wet markets of Jakarta, fresh winged bean pods are still sold every morning. In rural Myanmar, the tubers are still harvested and eaten as a matter of course. The knowledge held. It was the institutions that let go. Order the seeds, build the trellis, put it in the ground, and let the plant show you what a garden looks like when it works with you. For 50 years, the institutional memory of this crop was allowed to fade. But in kitchens and backyard plots and seed swaps, it kept moving, passed from hand to hand by people who simply knew it was worth keeping.